How to make your first million without even picking up a tool. Hey everybody, welcome back. My name's Will, owner of Energize Us and CEO and founder of my own non-for-profit trade school, Energize Us Edu. And today's topic, how do you make a million without picking up a tool? For me, it comes down to one word and one word only, mentors. How so? Throughout my life, I had experiences where I had mentors who helped me overcome obstacles, to help me see things that I couldn't see clearly. And now today, I want to share that with you. One thing that I truly appreciate about having my mentors is some was accidental and some was on purpose, or I had intent of finding a mentor. Whichever circumstance you're currently in, look out for your mentors. They are there to help you in two avenues. There's some that want to help you see you grow, and there's some who want to lay out the foundation for you, so you are able to see what you don't know. For me, example, I had multiple mentors throughout my electrical career, some even before. As I mentioned in my previous video, I had mentors who helped me get into my vocational high school. They personally experienced what I was going through. They laid the foundation, they knew what was best for me, and they took initiative and helped me out. Throughout my electrical career, I had various types of mentors. I'm truly honored to have those individuals in my life because they did not have any gain from that circumstance, that exchange. They literally were there in your life to help personally me out. They went above and beyond, and I truly wouldn't have been the person I am today without their assistance. So this is a shout out to everyone who has helped me out. Good times. But we're gonna start the story off with how it all began. I'm gonna recap on my previous video about mentors in my life. So my first mentor that can really come to mind is Duncan Rivera. Duncan Rivera was a close family friend of ours who not only grew up a few blocks away from my house, he was one of my parents' closest friends. Having Duncan in my life was truly a blessing. Not only was he in the skilled trades as well as a licensed electrical contractor, but so was his family. And they had a very close-knit family where they were able to see the benefits of their hard work. Me as a teenager growing up, I wasn't too focused on my future. I was trying to do what everybody else was doing, hanging out, just having fun. And these individuals, the Rivera family, truly went out their way to help me out. As I was getting ready for high school, I started applying for my local zone school. And in Queens, you have to apply, or in New York City in general, my apologies, you have to apply for your school. So I was just going to my local zone school because that's where all my friends were going. Basically, if you didn't want to go to a specific school, just go to your local zone school. And in this school, you were basically just going to get your basic high school diploma. If you applied for a specialty school, which is what I did at Thomas A. Edison High School, you're able to learn a vocational trade. There's different schools for different majors. For example, there were some for arts, there were some for science, some math. Depending on where you wanted to go in your life, there was a high school that helped prep you for college. In our case, it was Thomas A. Edison High School. The Rivera family went to Thomas A. Edison High School. They knew what the school was providing. They knew the value, and they knew for somebody like me, that's exactly what I needed in my life. Me just coming up thinking, I'm just gonna go to my normal zone school. They took the initiative, they took my application, they ripped it up and said, nope, you're gonna go to this school. I filled out the application and boom, I jumped in and began my electrical career as an electrical apprentice. Fast forward 4 years through high school, I now jump into the workforce. Ups, downs with the first few companies that I've personally been with, both. Our second mentor is when I jumped into the union, where I was working in Grand Central Terminal with IBEW. And what I truly appreciate about that, once again, there was a mentor that I accidentally came upon. This mentor, who to this day, I truly appreciate his friendship. He still texts me till this day, but he's like one of those Snapple bottle caps. You know how you open up your Snapple and there's like a little fun fact under the cap? He still sends me random messages, just sporadically, like sometimes we won't talk in months, and I'll just get a boop, a little text from him. Like for example, last month he sent me a message. He goes, you can catch flies with honey, but you can catch more honeys by being fly. That was Mr. Perry in a nutshell. Mr. Smooth, everyone called it. Everyone said he had a swagger when he walked. Just imagine, 60 to 70-year-old older guy just walking with a swagger, but he had a bad hip. So I think that's where the swagger came in. But Mr. Perry, if you're listening, I'm sorry, brother. But he was a very close friend of mine. Very helpful, especially when I was in the union, and he just laid out the foundation for me. To the point, there was moments where as I was in the union, I was already a journeyman at the time. I already had my license, working towards my master's, working towards getting my own company. If you guys have been in the union, if you guys know the culture, that doesn't sit well with everybody. I'm very grateful for the opportunities I learned. I'm very grateful for the stuff that I was able to apply into my everyday life, but there was moments where I was prepared and ready to jump onto my own new venture. Mr. Perry was someone who very much encouraged that, and that's why I'm very thankful for him. For example, there was times where I'll be in the lunchroom studying for my exam, my master's, and an individual just walk in, grab my books, and throw it on the floor, just like it was some high school beat. And then just like anybody else from New York, you do the dirty. You know, you get up, you do whatever you have to do. Basically, long story short, it ended. Scrapped it up, got back to my books, went back to studying, but it was just a part of bullying. Once again, he would go, what, you think you're better than us? Once again, us, he's talking like if he's a part of a cult or a culture, or I don't know what that means, but basically, they don't like it when you start studying. I don't know why, who knows? The next day, fast forward, the next day, I'm headed to the cafeteria now, back to lunch, and I happen to walk by Mr. Perry, Mr. Smooth, Mr. Suave, and he notices I don't have my code book today. And I didn't even think or put two to two together. You know, it's a new day, it's new opportunity. And then he said, dude, where's your code book? And I was like, oh no, I left it in my locker. He said, no, go get that thing. So he grabs it with me. I start walking back and he goes, right before we walked into the lunchroom, this is one of the happiest moments I ever had. We walked into the lunchroom right before at the door, and he's like, you walk up in there and you slam that book on the table. You let him know. So I was like, oh shit. Oh, newsflash. Mr. Perry was our union rep. There was many times where he took off, he was in charge, he was our acting foreman. That day he was the acting foreman and he was like, nah bro, you go in there and you make a scene. This dude's wild. So I go up there and of course I head over to the guy who, you know, knocked my stuff all on the floor. I just go, boom! I just slam my code book on the table. And then it happens again, a whole nother fight. What I truly appreciate about that moment was, once again, Mr. Perry. Afterwards, when we talk and we're laughing about it, he said, never be intimidated by somebody when you're trying to further yourself. And I always took that to heart. And then maybe in the moment, I didn't think too much of it, you know, because I'm just thinking, hey, it's another day at work, it's another beef, it's whatever, just roll with it. But that always helped when I started reflecting on those words. Don't let someone intimidate you when you're working on yourself. So that was a very good nugget I needed, especially when it came to me jumping into my own company, my own venture, and I needed that confidence, once again, in myself to do what I had to do. Now I've jumped into the workforce, I'm by myself, my own company, first year on. Everyone has their horror stories, the ups, downs, left, right. Very good moments, also some very, very terrifying moments as well. Fast forward to my first big contract, a contract that I still hold to today. And it happens to be with a utility company, cell towers, and doing service upgrades for them, as well as being license holders for their company. Very happy opportunity. I'm coming in, I'm green as you can be, man. I'm talking about like just learning my ways, trying to hopefully just make ends meet. And a lot of people, when you come into business for your first year, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what opportunities are out there for you. And also, you don't know how to properly price a job out. So the fear in the back of my head is, I just don't want to be broke, or I don't want to come in or lose money, or I don't want to come in and get less money than I did back at work. I want to break even with my hourly rate so at least I can still have day-to-day living. Basically, my markup, my margins were to the smallest degree. And once again, I get this contract, I go to the first job, I submit a bid for it. And I knew something was wrong when he called me like right away. And he's like, bro, I just saw your invoice. That is ridiculously under budget. And I was like, what? I broke it down like this. I said, this is the cost of the material. This is what my markup was. This is how long it took. It was like a 4-hour job. This is how much my hourly rate is. And then he goes, what about this, X, Y, Z? Margins, markup, overhead, contingency. Explain the whole caboodle to me. I was like, holy smokes, something I totally overlooked. And he spent the next 6 months, hey, this is an average price. You're not gonna give me the price. And he never allowed me submit an invoice for that price, what it was average. He said, I want you to write an invoice per your markup, per your overhead, because that's the beauty about being in America. It's an open market. How do you compete with somebody who's already been established in a company? Well, one is pricing. My overhead is lower than yours. Your overhead may be higher. Also, another big one is putting a name for yourself. If I was to compete with someone who's been in 20 years of business, I'm gonna sell it on the vision of, I need to make a name for myself. I'm gonna work harder. You are just another name in their book. I'm gonna be here with my blood, sweat, and tears. And a lot of general contractors I speak to, they love that. They love the fact that there's a new boy on the block who's gonna give that quality, who has a name to prove to himself. That is a very, very big plus in my books. You have a name to prove for yourself? Go after it. And that's what this mentor had in my life. Helped me understand what's the difference between giving a price as well as living off of that price. Very helpful, very close family friend. Still work with the company till this day. Now we have even bigger opportunities. We're growing, and it's been overall an amazing experience. Once again, an accidental mentor. Mentors who come into your life or help you, one, and you're not even looking for them. I feel like those mean the most because at the right time, somebody was there to show interest in you. Someone was there to lead you. Someone was there to guide you. And that is so valuable. That is so important that I feel like it's very much overlooked today. So first off, I want to say thank you again to everyone who has helped me. Now we're going into this transition in my life. Now that I've been in business for 6 years, I'm seeing the fruits of my labor, reinvesting into the company, into the company, into the company. Now I'm starting to pivot and I'm deciding to invest into myself. Before I was investing into myself, but it was by means of my company. Now I'm finally using my hard-earned money to invest into my health, to keep myself accountable so I can keep growing as a person, as a leader, as a husband, as a father. I want to make sure that I have the quality training that I need to be able to provide the best for the people I want to take care of in my life. That leads me to now the types of mentors I have around me are more with intent, more with a purpose, more in the terms that I went to them to have them help me. Because I don't know the next phase of life. I don't know the potential pitfalls that may come from me doing X, Y, and Z. So these mentors that I have in my life now, I'm paying for. So mentors could either be accidental or with intent. Which ones do you currently have? Which ones are you looking for? Either way, you have to put yourself into those positions where you can look for one, listen to one, or go find one. Mentors, like for example, today I work with individuals who are looking and have the best interest in heart because they want to mutually grow as a team. When you find individuals in your life that want to grow with you, have your best interest in heart, and are laying down the framework, that is such an unbelievable feeling because nobody can take that away from you. Someone genuinely woke up today and decided to give you attention, to give you the answer that you needed. Hold on to that person because you don't see those individuals every day in life. If you find those persons, hold on to them, work with them, spoil them. And that is very much why today I want to put emphasis on finding like-minded individuals. And guess what? Even if you can't find an individual, let's say you're in the middle of Tennessee, let's say you're in the middle of Ohio, you're in the middle of the states where there's nobody close to you, you're the only contractor around. Well, I would like to invite you all to the Growth Convention. At the Growth Convention, we're going to be meeting with like-minded contractors, like-minded individuals who have been in your steps. There's individuals from all aspects of life, black, white, brown, yellow, green, blue, indigo, whatever you need, we have it. We have single, married, single parent, multifaceted family, everybody in different age range, everybody in a different stage of their electrical career, and each one of them have the same mindset of growing together. That is a beautiful thing to hold on to. Once again, you find somebody with that like-minded mindset, you hold on to them. At the Growth Convention, we're gonna have individuals where you can learn from their experiences and you can learn from their successes. Most importantly, you can also learn from their failures so you can see what's to come and you can overcome those with ease. At the Growth Convention, we're going to be having opportunities to not only work side by side with these individuals, network with these individuals, but we're going to get to know them on a personal level. Once again, you want to be able to learn as much as you can from individuals who already been there, not just speaking from their thoughts. You want someone with practical field application where it can relate to you so you can take it home and then you too can be successful. But that's my key to success for today. How to make your first million without picking up a tool. The key to success is mentors. Look for mentors, hold on to mentors, and put yourself in positions to be mentored by somebody. And if you guys thought this was interesting, which I know you have, check out these other videos that I have coming up, how it is possible to be successful in the skill trades.